Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
This is Rogers TV. Welcome into Woodstock, Ontario. Welcome back from Thursday. It's been a long tournament, Jeremy McGrady. I'm Joey Langdon, and it has wound up with Ontario 1 out of Whitby facing Team British Columbia out of Abbotsford.
Yes, you've got this Ontario 1 team so far, Joey, through this round. They've been able to go 7-0. They've run the gauntlet. They have been built to get to where they are now here in this national championship. And the same can be said for this BC team as well. They're built for this championship well. So it's going to be an exciting matchup between Ontario and BC.
Yep, strong pitching. We were talking on Thursday how some teams might worry about pitch counts when we get to Sunday, because you can only throw a certain amount of pitches in the tournament, only a certain amount of pitches per day. But Team Ontario has only burned one pitcher, Chris Deloreier, whereas Team BC has burned 2, John Huff and Preston Gerrod. So they'll start with Luke Tjon. Luke Tjon, a fastball changeup guy. He said he does have a curveball, but he doesn't like to throw it. But no better time to break it out than the national championship.
Absolutely, it's going to be one of the key things if you're Tjon, is you got to see what pitches are working for you. You're having to deal with a little bit of the sun here in this ballpark. There's a bit of shade towards the infielders, but he's kind of right in that light, and that's going to be an advantage for him when he's facing a right-handed hitter. They're going to be looking. The sun's going to be right in their eyes, so it's going to be key early on in this contest for Tjon to be aggressive in the strike zone.
Speaking of right-handed hitters, BC does bring a lot of them. Let's take a look at the Team British Columbia lineup. Seth Cran is going to lead things off here, followed by Jackson Bogard, who's the pitcher. You don't see the pitcher on this lineup. It's a American League lineup card, so we don't see the pitcher. But John Huff, Charlie Manuel, Preston Gerrod, a lot of right-handers in this lineup. So, like you said, they're going to have to contend with the sun here on Southside East.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how BC handles it early on, as it looks like Cron's going to step into the batter's box here, Joey, and we're going to be underway here for this 13U National Championship.
Packed house here at Southside Park from all around the country and all around the world. 13U Baseball on Rogers TV. First pitch coming up right here. First pitch swinging. Popped into no man's land in the infield. Cron's going to try and run it out, and he will. Awkward start for this Ontario unit that has been so great in the field this tournament. Seth Cran finds the hole.
Well, a little blooper that goes a little bit past the pitcher, and that's a bit of no man's land area right in between the shortstop and the second baseman. You kind of almost call that a tricky triangle there. If that ball lands in there, it's hard to know where it goes, and it works in BC's favor as they get a base runner here to start this contest.
Jackson Bogard, the pitcher, will watch that one for a ball.
And it's hard for Tjon as a pitcher in that pop-up situation, because you're having to basically go backwards. You can't turn your back on the ball. You got to look at where it is, but nonetheless, BC gets that base runner.
1-0. And they'll check first. We've seen in this tournament, runners have been running with abandon.
Well, especially at this age group, you want to be aggressive on the base pass. Test the catcher's arms. And like you mentioned, Joey, when you were here on Thursday, you saw quite an active base pass. We'll see if BC wants to do that early.
That one just misses low.
This ballpark here was built as a slow pitch ballpark. They've had to redo the configuration a little bit for hardball a few years ago, and it is a right-handed hitter's paradise. Only 241 to straightaway left field, as that one's fouled off the hands.
And a bit of a battle here again with that sun going right into the eyes of these right-handed batters. Not surprised to see some foul-offs here early in this at-bat.
It's been a hard-fought tournament for these players. You see the letters even peeling off the Team BC uniform on Jackson Beauregard. They'll check first again. They are worried about Seth Cron's speed over there.
Well, he's leadoff hitter for a reason. Brings that element of speed out on the base pass, and he's gotten an aggressive lead, roughly 4 to 5 steps. This time a little bit shorter.
That one's hit hard into left field, into the gap for a base hit. And real efficient hitting so far for Team British Columbia.
Well, it's smart, patient hitting, what I'm seeing from this BC team so far. Pitch was on the inside corner of the plate, and he just sends it softly into left field for the base hit. And now already a
center fielder.
Con already on second base in scoring position. And now you've got Huff trying to cash in that first run.
Swing and a miss a little early on that with the breaking ball. John Huff, the batter. He is considered BC's, if not their best, one of their best pitchers, but they used him in the semifinal because, you know, you'd rather be in the gold medal game without your best pitcher than in the bronze medal game with them. So he will only be able to contribute with the bat today. And a little bit of a miscommunication here between McQuaig and Tjon.
Yeah, you can see Tjon kind of signaling as to, I don't know, as to he's not sure what the situation was, and he's walking with McQuaig up to the mound as to what they want to go with here. We'll see if whether or not the home plate umpire has to go out and chase the catcher here. It looks like he's going to, as this might have been more of a conversation of how do they want to handle the base runners that are out there, because there could be a situation if you're BC here early on. Do you want to go double steal early? So we'll see what they do here and see how Tjon and McQuaig attack this game plan.
Defensively, they don't seem to be expecting it. Chris Deloreier, the third baseman's pretty far from third. The breaking ball in the dirt, and that will move up the runners anyway. So whatever was discussed in the meeting has been blown up.
Yeah, just overthrown there from Tjon. Just missed his target. McQuaig not able to get the block and allows the runners to easily move up the extra feet towards the second and third base, still with nobody out.
Swing and a miss with the heat. These are two hard-throwing pitchers. Luke Tjon touches 76 on the gun. Jackson Beauregard touches 79 at 13.
Certainly impressive to see these 13 and younger athletes being able to bring that type of velocity at such a young age.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. John Huff goes down. A lot of different colored caps in the stands behind us and to the left of us. Players coming from all over the country to participate in this tournament. And they're sticking around to see the best of the best.
Well, this is ultimately where all of these teams behind us want to end up being, is in this gold medal game. And they're seeing how these two teams have to handle the pressure.
Strike 1 to Charlie Manuel. Yes, that's right, Charlie Manuel. And I asked his mom, who's here, oh, you guys big Phillies fans? And she said, oh, is Charlie Manuel a Phillies thing? Didn't even know. Strike 2. Manuel with 2 men on and 1 out.
Yeah, back-to-back pitches right on the outside corner. First one found the bottom of the zone. That second one found the upstairs corner. They've gone outside both times here. Maybe go off speed and go inside here on Manuel.
The heat just misses high.
Tjon said that he likes to use that fastball, especially when you throw it that hard. It's a pitch you want to go to a lot of the time. We'll see if he comes back with it here.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So after the early nerves, Luke Tjon settles down and takes care of 2 batters himself.
Fifth for British Columbia, number 16, Preston.
Well, he's able to turn this inning around here just by able to record the 2 strikeouts and You can see the outfield for this Ontario team is backed up a little bit here for Preston Gerrod, knowing that you want 2 out, you want to play no doubles defense.
Swing and a miss high. Gerrod was scheduled to be the third baseman originally in this game. Coach said he was feeling a little hurt in the warm-ups. They didn't want to lose his bat, so he's the extra hitter. They'll bring in Josh Hotell to be the third baseman. Fouled into the screen.
Yeah, you can tell so far in this at bat that Tjon's been going to that fastball, and Gerrod's been late both times so far. So we'll see if they go back to it again, knowing that he's been late.
That he does, climbs the ladder and gets him. And a quick 3 strikeouts gets Ontario out of the inning.
Yeah, good job there from Tjon, being able to record those final 3 outs and avoid the jam.
So we'll head to the bottom of the first now. We'll get our first look at Jackson Bogard. Bogard, a pure athlete. He calls himself Abbotsford's athlete. He sees himself going to the next level. He's already going to a lot of showcase events. He's played in tournaments in San Diego and Arizona this summer. But none more important than the national championship, saving it all for this at the end of the summer.
And this is certainly a big game on his calendar, obviously being able to spend the weekend here with his BC teammates, and now he knows he got a job to do, Joey, and that's try to win a national championship and bring it back to the province of British Columbia.
So to contend with that firepower, Team Ontario's lineup has some firepower of their own, starting out with Chris Deloreier, the left-hander. A lot of lefties in this lineup, a lot of lefties on the bench as well to contend with this right-handed pitcher.
Well, again, it's one of those situations for this Ontario team and head coach Scott Robinson, you want to be able to have as many lefties in the lineup as you can with a right-hander on the mound. And you already mentioned Bogard's velocity. These hitters are going to know that the heat's coming, so it's all about timing it up and trying to get themselves on base as well, trying to get themselves on the board first here in this national championship game.
And the defense for BC no less important. Late change here, as we mentioned. First of all, John Huff in center field. He's unavailable to pitch. He's got to do his work there. Josh Hotell, a late addition. He was supposed to start this game on the bench. He's going to be at third base starting. Maddox Yu at second base is one of the pitching options they have. So is Seth Cron. London Funk at first base. And then that battery is going to be super important in this game.
Yeah, you've got Mason Shuto behind the plate. And we'll see how they work together here. Shuto obviously catching a lot here for Bogard. And they'll know what each other think out here, with Deloreier being the first batter here for this Nationals team. And you can see Deloreier and Shuto having a conversation right now as there's Bogard just removing a few pieces of tape off of his wrist that I'm sure the home plate umpire saw and said that he needs to have that removed.
It was the Ontario coach who came out a second ago and pointed out Beauregard warming up.
The third baseman, Christopher Deloreier.
Maybe a little mind games early in this one. The Team Ontario coach, they're big on the mental game. Worked with a mental skills coach this summer at 13U. That I don't think I ever had that opportunity as a 13U ball player.
No, and a lot of people can say that they've never had a mental health coach come in, but especially for these players here, having a mental health coach is big, and especially in a situation like this here in a national championship game where all the stakes are high.
Chris Deloreier, the leadoff batter out of Pickering, Ontario. The third baseman. He is the one pitcher that Ontario can't use this game. They burned him in the semifinal. He was one of their best pitchers all season. Now he's got to contribute with the bat. Fouled back into the screen.
And Deloreier with more of a open stance in the batter's box. He's got his right foot a little bit positioned towards right field, so that allows him to get his hips more towards the inside of the baseball and pull the ball more. And as a pitcher, if you can see that he's got a little more of an open stance, you tend to try to work towards the outside of the zone. So we'll see what Deloreier does here, but instead he elects to just step off.
Bogard has to recenter after. They didn't tell him to take his gear off till after the warm-up, so now he's got to refocus, not think about it. Ball up high.
Man, for Deloreier here, he's being patient, and I'm sure that's exactly what Scott Robinson told these hitters is be patient. You know that fastball is lively. Wait for it to come into the strike zone, make sure it's a strike.
Swings at a fastball, it's grounded right to the first baseman, and they'll make the play. London Funk on the unassisted.
That pitch was going to be a ball. It was going to be outside of the strike zone, but Deloreier swings at it and ends up just bouncing it right off the front of home plate and goes right to the first baseman on one hop. An easy out recorded there for BC.
Isaac Cartier now the batter. One of the imports takes one around his head. Kitchener Panther. This Kitchener Panthers team, they didn't have the most successful season. Only went to, I believe, the quarterfinals in provincial, but which isn't what they expected. But they do end up with a lot of representation in this championship anyway. All 3 Ontario teams took a Kitchener Panther as one of their imports. There's a strike.
Yeah, you can tell Cartier knew that one was going to find the outside corner, and it's all credit to that team, that Panther team. You know, they work hard, get themselves into a quarterfinal, and obviously they wanted to go to the national level, and they do so.
Ball in the dirt.
And when you're up at the plate and you're seeing 80 plus coming from that arm out there on the mound, and you have to kind of be patient, knowing that whether or not it's going to be accurate or not.
That one's grounded short. Third baseman's going to come over, going to make the play across the diamond in time. Nice little play there by Josh Hotell.
Yeah, and the key for Hotell on that play there was he allowed the ball to come to him. He took it on the hop. He didn't attack it necessarily. He gets in front of it, which is the key thing, and then he makes a strong throw right to the first baseman, and he has that high target, makes the catch, gets him by a step, and quickly here this BC team has 2 outs.
Pitch in the zone for a strike. Nolan Landry is the batter. Landry from Cobourg, Ontario. The left-handed batter.
Yeah, nice to see Bogard mixing it up here in the strike zone. He's working up and down. When you've got that high heat, you like to work north-south.
That one goes south. It's chopped to short. Give me a longer throw, and he bobbles the ball, and Landry will be on. Believe that'll be scored a hit. He was pretty up the line to begin with.
Yeah, tough play for the shortstop there, and Con is he's not able to secure it, as I'm going to guess that ball had a lot of spin on that one as it pops out of the glove, and so that will go down for what will likely be a base hit.
Luke Tjon now the batter, as Beauregard's going to have to deal with a runner on for the first time today. Tjon, the pitcher, looking to help his own cause.
And you know, with Tjon at the dish, he certainly wants to prove himself on the offensive side of the ball.
He'll check first again. Base running has been the story of this tournament.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Joey, the base running in this tournament has been quite successful so far, so we'll see if Ontario wants to do so here with only 2 out.
Throw inside, they'll throw behind the runner, and it goes into the outfield. Luckily, the right fielder in a good position, Charlie Manuel, to cut that off and prevent any further danger. But Landry was pretty up the line, so that could have been successful if the throw was on. So runner on, count is 2-1. Pitch in the zone, strike 2.
Yeah, it goes right back to that fastball of his. Gets Tjon on the swing and miss, and now trying to get that third out here and have a quick three out inning here.
And I had the count wrong, strike 2. But now Luke Tjon is going to be in some trouble here as the lights turn on here at Southside Park. Two strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. Pitch. Stays alive. Almost took out the man on deck. Ben Conforti. Conforti trying to be Contorti over there. And just got word the bronze medal game that involves Woodstock is now 2-2, and they are going into the top of the 7th now, so we'll keep you updated on that as well. Pitch inside, throw over again. Not in time, but keeping Landry honest.
Yeah, Tjon doing a good job working this count here, and once it does get to full, you would see the runner in motion. But with 2 out, you don't want to be overly aggressive.
Runner going. Ball will be chopped towards the third base side. Knocked down by the third base coach over there. I believe that's Jeff Wendt. Jackson Bogard is really wowing the crowd with his velocity. The Team Nova Scotia players behind me have a little radar gun, and they are gasping every time a fastball goes by. Pitch inside. No! Strike 3. Got him on the corner. And Team BC holds serve. It's still 0-0. We'll be back here on Rogers TV right after this.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hi, I'm Dawn Tucker from Align Yoga and Pilates Studio. Join me this fall on Rogers TV for Align Yoga, a chair yoga practice designed for all body types.
This pitching clinic so far.
I'm Kevin Gosman, and this is the art of pitching.
We had a plan. Catcher, pitching coach, and I talked about before.
Just attack guys from pitch one.
Huge strikeout.
When it comes to like body language of the hitter, it's more so like how aggressive they are.
Is some kind of locked in right now.
You look at if they move or try to get closer to the plate, the more that I can keep the pressure on them, they can't get in the rhythm.
He understands the art of pitching.
Welcome back to Rogers TV. Joey Langdon here with Jeremy McGrady. We're in the 13U National Baseball Championships, and so far it's been pitching.
Yeah, these two starting pitchers have been able to work with the hard stuff early on in this game, only at 1 inning, but nonetheless.
23, the second baseman, Maddox,
both teams only having 2 hits for BC, 1 for Ontario, but nonetheless.
Maddox used the batter. Slight delay. The Team Ontario coaches were a little too far onto the field for the umpire's liking. Might have something to do with that lined foul ball that almost hit the on-deck batter earlier. Just trying to keep everyone safe.
Man, Tjon already playing mind games. He's asked for a new baseball.
So Maddox Yu, the switch hitter, spent a lot of time this tournament batting left-handed. And he'll bat that one right into the parking lot. Please don't hit my car. It hit a car, but not mine. If you have the gray Mazda and you are watching the stream while at the ballpark, go check out your car. That one's fouled back into the screen. So quickly, Maddox Yu has had to deal with some velocity.
And both times he's been late on it. We'll see if Tjon decides to triple up or does he go off speed.
Triple up, triple down, strike 3. So Maddox Yu sits down for the first out of the inning.
And he's confident with that fastball, and when you're seeing the batter late on it, you just might as well keep on throwing, and he decides to go up, stares and away, and he does get the strikeout.
Maddox Yu, Mason Shuto, the catcher. You see the different logo on his helmet. He's from the Surrey organization, which was interesting that he got the start at catcher, but he has developed a great relationship with Jackson Beauregard already. They play in the Surrey bullpen organization, which plays in some summer league tournaments together. And when it was time to pick the roster for the Abbotsford Angels for this tournament, Jackson said, "Bring me Mason Shuto."
Man, that's a compliment there if you're Shuto, that you've created a friendship there, and so now that allows you to be able to play more baseball and know your pitcher and know how confident you are in him.
And swing and a miss. McQuaig thought there was already 2 strikes, but that is now strike 2.
And again, we'll see if Tjon goes to the fastball.
That one's lined to second. It's going to get through. Base hit for Shuto. And Team BC has a runner on with 1 out.
Hit the ball where it is pitched. That one was going towards the outside corner. And he just stays with it, makes solid contact, rips it through the infield for the base hit.
The left fielder, Jordan Allard.
And now standing over on first base is Shuto with Allard over here at the batter's box.
I think it's small ball here, but it's going to be bunted back into the screen. This is where you want to go small ball. The runners have been running roughshod all tournament. The infield is in great condition. It's great running ground. Get your man on the move. That bunt does go into play, and it's right into the glove. Going for 2. They'll get the double play, and they get out of the inning.
Yeah, this pitch here is upstairs, so again, it's popped right up there, and then they catch the runner being a little too aggressive over on the first base side. The strong throw over records the out, and so now BC goes back on the defense, and Ontario gets their chance at bat here heading into this bottom of the second.
It's looking like it's going to be a bit of a defensive struggle so far, but we've seen in this tournament where you get these pitchers with some velocity that you start getting up in their pitch count, they'll lose clicks pretty quickly. So how important is it at this point to get in the box and start taking pitches?
In my personal opinion, Joey, it's huge. You want to force the pitcher to throw you strikes. You know, in my philosophy, when I'm up in the batter's box, it's always you take 1 strike, regardless of the situation. Just because when you take that strike, you now know, okay, he's got that advantage of having that 1 strike, but now you can go to work. Now you can see what he's going to throw you, what type of pitches he's gotten. It makes you a better hitter when you're showing that patience, because if you're swinging at that first pitch, the pitcher can go aggressive on you pretty quickly. And so taking 1 early and then just allowing the pitcher to come to you as a hitter, that's the end-all be-all as a hitter, is trying to be patient.
So Jackson Beauregard is going to head back to the hill. That pitch is coming in really hot so far, and Team Ontario has had to adjust by standing a lot back in the box and trying to push the ball away. They're full of right-handers, which doesn't help, but they will get some help left-handed wise with Conforti coming up here. I think he's the only left-hander in the starting lineup. So, and we mentioned the sun coming in. How much an advantage, not just right versus left, does the left-hander have? You're not staring into the sun here.
Well, right now it's huge. He's able to see the ball a lot more compared to a right-hander, and we've mentioned a lot about the velocity with these 2 pitchers. Obviously, sunlight's going to be a factor when you've got that fastball, as it's going to come in that much quicker and tougher to see. But standing in the left-hand batter's box, you're going to see it a little more with that shade and you not having to deal with the sun. So, but it's pretty much gone behind the trees here at the park. So now both sides of the plate will be able to see the ball pretty well coming in out of the pitcher's hand.
Conforti the batter. He'll watch that one up high. As meanwhile, over at the bronze medal game, Team Woodstock has a chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 7th, 2-2. And Maddox at the plate. We'll keep you up on that. That ball's in the dirt.
Yeah, for Bogard, here with, he's just basically saying to these hitters, here's the fastball, come and hit it. And that a lot of times ends up being successful early on in a pitcher's outing, is when you got that fastball working, it's just go challenge.
Fastball high, starting to have some trouble with the location.
Well, again, only able to throw so many pitches here in this national championship. He's got to be able to give all he's got in every pitch and try to make sure it finds the strike zone.
And that'll be ball 4, so Conforti gets on base. And could be the start of something here for Team Ontario. Gavin Sheehan, the next batter, with some speed on the base paths.
Gavin Sheehan.
This is where I talk about that patient approach. If you're Sheehan here, you've got that runner on first base with the possibility of him being on the move early.
Pitch right down the middle, strike 1, and Bogard maybe took a couple clicks off that to try and hone in on the command.
Yeah, when you have that fastball miss upstairs, you tend to try to slow it down to bring it back into the strike zone, and that's what he did there on that pitch with his adjustment.
Trying to ramp up a little bit in the dirt. Conforti thought about going, and he'll have to double back. Good catcher play there by Mason Shudo. And just an update, by the way, in the bronze medal game, that game has now gone to extra innings. Pitch just catches the outside corner. Now Sheehan has to lock in. Sizable lead at first base. They'll check the sizable lead at first base. He's back in time. A little bit of a smaller lead this time. Pitch hit hard into right field, but well foul. There is a funky foul zone here at Southside Park, but that would have been foul anywhere.
Well, Sheehan just protected the strike zone there on that foul off. Now with 2 strikes, he has to continue to try to battle.
Breaking ball just misses outside.
Yeah, it looks like Bogard went with the slider there, and it started right in the middle and then found its way outside. And if he wants that pitch to be working, he's got to start that on the inside corner and work it out.
Fastball misses low. And Sheehan's battled back here. Full count. Runner on first, no outs. Sheehan just looking to put this ball in play. Bogard gets a signal. Deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ball bounces out of the glove. Sheehan won't run, but the runner on first advances. So Conforti scampers over to second. And 1 out, runner on second.
Blake Bauer.
Yeah, so Sheehan will be recorded for the strikeout, and because Conforti was on first at the time of the pitch, Sheehan doesn't get the opportunity to run because of the fact that that runner was already on first base.
So that pitch falls outside. Bauer's the batter, the shortstop. Also one of Team Ontario's best pitchers. Hoping to contribute from both sides of the plate this game. Pitch in the zone for a strike. And even though there was a strike, it looked like a bit of a cross-up. Shudo didn't quite handle it, so he's going to talk it over, make sure they know what they're going to do defensively as well.
And you got the second baseman coming in as well, just to make sure they're all on the same page here and how they want to deal with Conforti, who's standing on second base. And you mentioned the cross-up. Not all that often will this battery will have that happen, but nonetheless, good to see Shudo pop out and go to Bogard there and just make sure that they're on the same page as to what pitches they want to throw here.
That one's chopped to first. It's going to be fair. They'll make the play over at first, but the runner does advance, so a productive out there.
That fastball right down the middle, a late swing there from Bowers, but he is able to move the runner the extra 90 feet.
So that'll bring up Clark Robinson, coach's son, playing first base today. Strike one.
Batting number 6, the catcher, Spencer McQuaig.
Sorry, Robinson's on deck, so this is Spencer McQuaig up. McQuaig from Metropolitan Toronto. Gonna watch a strike here.
And McQuaig's been patient so far in this at bat. He's taking one up, taking one down. Expect this next fastball to maybe come right back upstairs. McQuaig's got to be ready for it.
Catcher calls time.
And McQuaig wasn't quite settled in there in the batter's box, so he called for his timeout, and now he's ready.
Fastball caught McQuaig in the helmet. Umpire's going to check on it, but McQuaig's more interested in just sprinting over to first base.
Yeah, that looked like they caught the bridge of the helmet. We'll take a look here on the replay as that heater's coming right in, and indeed it does catch the bridge of the helmet. Extremely lucky
10, the first baseman,
for McQuaig there to be able to avoid getting that straight off the head and off the bridge of that helmet. And so he's standing over there on first base, and now runners on the corners here for this Ontario team. We've got something brewing here with Robinson at the dish.
Clark Robinson, the batter, fastball outside. Scott Robinson, this coach, took over this team at 8U. Said that the goal was to win the 13U championship all the way back at 8U. So huge pressure on Clark Robinson here to contribute. It is a culmination of about 5 years of your family's life. Fastball at the letters, going to be called a ball.
Yeah, he came over and chatted with a few of our Rogers TV staff and was pretty open about that, and told the parents right from the get-go at the 8U division, saying, hey, I plan on winning the national championship at the 13U category, so you got to believe in the process here. And so far they are able to believe in him, and they got to where they wanted to be, the national championship game, as now we've got our first mound visit here from this BC team, knowing you've got runners on the corners. And McQuaig, you would imagine, if he's to steal, you're likely not going to see a throw down because of the fact you've got the runner standing on third base.
That might have been the message from Darren Francis, the coach there, to Jackson Bogard. Don't even worry about the runner on first, just get the out. Pitch, it's a short frame, and it's hard to hit that strike zone. That's another fastball to letters that misses. See that? He's got a quarterback's notepad there to make sure he knows when to swing and when not to. It's another one right at the letters, misses. Ball 4. So Beauregard's consistent in his placement, but on that short frame, that's hard to hit that strike zone.
Batting for Ontario, number 31, the left fielder, Easton Wilkinson.
And now with Easton Wilkinson up and the bases loaded, I'm sure he's going to take the same approach of being patient. You've got the bases loaded.
That one's in the zone. Dropped it a little lower for a strike at the knees.
And again, just smart to take that first heater. Now you can go to work knowing that that fastball is going to come a lot, especially here with there being 2 out and the bases loaded here in the bottom half of the second inning.
Watches another strike, so 2 strikes. Jackson Beauregard 1 strike away from escaping the jam here. Easton Wilkinson's going to step out here to recenter.
And now if you're Wilkinson, you know that fastball is going to come in at you, and you got to make sure that if it is a strike, you're swinging early, because we've seen it so far as his previous teammates have been late.
Tries to throw a chair at him, and he's able to stay with it and foul it off.
Yeah, went with the slider. They're trying to fool Wilkinson, but he's able to fight that one off. If I'm Wilkinson, I'm just sitting dead red on a heater. I don't care what he throws otherwise. Whether it be that slider, just sit on that fastball at this point.
And that's a fastball that just misses. Easton Wilkinson, the only member of this Whitby lineup that drove east to get here rather than west. One of the St. Thomas Cardinals got the call up pretty far away from his Whitby teammates. Wasn't really able to practice with them, looking to try and show out here. And that one just misses high and outside.
Again, tried to find the upstairs portion of the strike zone with that slider. Again, started a little too far upstairs, didn't finish inside the strike zone. So now again, situation where you've got maybe another fastball count here.
That you do, and you miss high again. Consistently missing up in the zone. He's got to really settle in here. This count is run full. So runners will be on the move here with 2 outs. Full count, bases loaded, 2 outs. Bogard versus Wilkinson. Here's the pitch. Chopped to third. It's going to be a close play anywhere. The throw over is not in time. And Ontario's on the board first from a mercenary, Easton Wilkinson.
Well, just a smart at-bat and a great result for Wilkinson. It's a high chopper. The third baseman had no play behind him, no play at the plate. He had to fire a rocket over the first base, but because that ball was chopped so high, Wilkinson was able with ease to take off and get on base.
Base is still loaded. Deloreier would love to crack this game wide open. Chris Deloreier has been one of the all-stars on this team all season. A signature moment right here would be fantastic. Chop to first, 2 outs, gonna be a foot race. They'll win the foot race and save the run. So only one, they can breathe a sigh of relief, but some damage is done. Team Ontario leads it 1-0.
Are you low on food? Struggling to pay the bills? Overwhelmed by life's challenges? When you need support but don't know where to turn, just dial 211. 211 connects you to the programs or services near you.
211, how can I help you?
211, help starts here.
Join the high-energy, bodyweight-based workouts of the Thunder Twins. Gerald and Harold will get all shapes and sizes up and moving.
You just don't go down as low.
No.
We want you to cross your body, though, and do a slight bend.
Catch the Thunder Mondays at noon.
Welcome back to Rogers TV. We're in beautiful Woodstock, Ontario at Southside Park for the 13U National Baseball Championship. Team Ontario won out of Whitby, has a slim lead over Team British Columbia from Abbotsford, but Jeremy McGrady could have been a lot more.
Certainly could have. They had the bases loaded there with 2 outs. But nonetheless, Wilkinson's able to deliver on the infield single. But this BC team is able to get out of it, only allowing that 1 run. And now with London Funk standing at the dish trying to respond.
Swing and a miss, strike 1. Funk stepping in with no one on. Swing and a miss.
And what's easily been a pitching battle so far, you can say that Tjon's won the battle, as obviously that last inning Bogard had to throw a lot of pitches in that bottom half of the third.
That one's lined to right field, and that was a difficult play for Gavin Sheehan. He couldn't quite find it, but he's able to make the play.
Yeah, good catch out there by Sheehan as he saw that ball all the way. It was just whether or not where it was going to drop. As you can see, he was running into it, wanted to make sure that it didn't just all of a sudden drop on him. Made sure that he watched it all the way into the glove and record a quick out.
Josh Hotell now up, a late addition to this starting lineup. Preston Gerrod was expected to be the third baseman. They've added Josh Hotell late off the bench, so he's looking to try and make the most of this opportunity here in the National Championship. But he's down 0-2 in a hurry. Luke Tjon working fast here. Strike three right away. Hello, goodbye.
Yep, Tjon again tripled up, 3 straight fastballs. And the second and the third pitch were basically thrown right, same spots, same location.
Not a long stay in the box for Josh Hotell. That'll bring up Seth Cron in the top of the order. Strike one.
Cron led off this championship by going into the outfield for a base hit, his first time up, getting the single.
That was it was a weird looping pop-up that just kind of got in the middle of all the fielders, but it was on the first pitch, so now he's finally seeing some pitches from Luke Tjon here.
Yeah, BC trying to work Turgeon's pitch count a little higher as he was efficient last inning.
That one just missed on the outside. Wasn't framed the best by the catcher. Might have been a strike if he had.
Yeah, I agree. If he had held on to that one, that might have been a strike, but because he had to come over a little bit and it popped out, umpire calls for the ball.
And that one misses outside, so Tjon throwing a couple heaters on the outside corner. McQuaig has to go outside for him. Giving Cron here another chance, and time is called.
You can see Tjon wasn't quite happy with how he was setting up, so he likes to step off and reset, take a breather.
That one's grounded to second again. Bouncing ball handled cleanly by Conforti, and Team Ontario once again with a clean inning.
Yeah, quick and efficient pitch in the middle of the plate. Cron not able to get that one in the outfield. A couple of hops to the second baseman in a routine play over at first base to retire the side quickly in order with 3 up and 3 down.
Once again, I'm Joe Lane here with Jeremy McGrady. And Jeremy, this is the part of the game at 13U where the strategy is different from other ages, because you have to really manage your kids' arms. Even, and you know, you're not saving them for a future game. It's the gold medal game. But when you have 2 power pitchers at 13U, that velocity is going to come off really fast. So at what point here do you think you start looking at Bogard and Tjon and thinking about getting someone warm in the bullpen?
Really, in my opinion, it's until the wheels fall off. You're in the championship game for a reason, and you've got your best pitchers in the best positions in this type of game. So you want to let them ride it out until you see a weak spot in their throwing ability, whether you see the velocity go down or you're starting to see them miss wildly. That's when you tend to get some action into your bullpen. So expect a guy like Tjon to maybe go another inning or 2. And then this might be Bogard's last inning here as well, because he's thrown a lot of pitches in the last inning as well, and obviously loading the bases as he had walked a couple of batters with the hit by pitch as well. So advantage currently Ontario, obviously, with them having the 1-0 lead. But they also defensively have the advantage of knowing that Bogard's thrown way more pitches compared to Tjon.
Yeah, and this sort of plays into Ontario's hand really nicely. Ontario actually expected to be running up pitch count early. This Team BC team they know has a great offense. They told me they have 6 pitchers ready to go today. I'm probably looking to see Ashlyn Jolicoeur, the big right-hander, and then they've said that Blake Bowers is their closer that they'll have ready. Now, what's interesting is neither of these teams have really faced any sort of offensive adversity. Even just 1 run is new for Ontario. going through their provincial championships, they went 7-0, outscored opponents 114 to 21. They beat Oakville 17-7 in the final through this national championship you mentioned earlier. They have not really faced any sort of adversity until the semis when they gritted out a 5-3 win over Woodstock. You look at BC, they went 6-0 in their provincial championship, outscored opponents 70-17. They beat Cloverdale 12-1 in their provincial championship. Have run through everyone until Quebec won out of Montreal in the semis. So a 1-0 game in the third inning is really unlike either of these teams. Bogard working faster against Cartier.
Man, you can see those last two previous pitches have been off speed. He's gone away from the fastball. He's thrown 51 pitches so far, so he's going to be reaching his limit pretty shortly.
Isaac Cartier, the extra hitter, out of that Kitchener Panthers organization. And the slider gets him. It's a balancing act in this set, because you want Beauregard out of the game, yes, but also you can't be staring at too many strikes.
No, that's just it. Is that it's one thing to be patient, but you can also be overly patient as well. As you want to be able to be selective out there when you're facing a pitcher that's got this type of velocity.
And by the way, that bronze medal game involving Woodstock in Quebec has now entered the 9th inning. They are going the distance over there.
Yeah, those two teams just fighting for third place here in the national championships.
And there's the strike to Landry.
And certainly if you're the hometown Woodstock team, you'd love nothing more. Obviously a devastating loss here to the Ontario team, only losing by those 2 runs in the semifinal, but they'd be happy to take a bronze as well.
Landry fouls it back, and the thing is with a lot of these teams, this Ontario team as well as the Woodstock team and a couple of the other non-all-star teams, these are programs that were built years in advance for this one weekend. So any sort of setback is 5 years of devastation. And there's strike 3 to Landry. Beauregard working fast, working well.
Yeah, back-to-back strikeouts for Bogard, as now he's feeling confident out there on the mound. You can see he's got his jersey pinched up kind of to the top of the shoulders, allowing a little more breathing room for both arms.
Tjon taking all the way. Watch that one go outside.
And you already mentioned it, a piece of his name tag on the back is starting to peel off. Shows you how much of a strong weekend that this BC team has had all over the diamond.
Tjon, again, looking like he's had the red light on. Takes the strike that time.
Man, pitcher beat pitcher. This is where you're seeing who's got the better stuff and who's going to be aggressive trying to get themselves on base as well.
Pitch. That one misses outside. BC crowd behind us didn't like it, but it did miss.
Tjon stood in there pretty solidly. He knows what the strike zone looks like as well, obviously being on the mound. He knows where that would have been. So now you just got to focus on one pitch at a time.
Breaking ball breaks a little too inside. A couple Team Alberta kids behind us. It's a couple Team Prince Edward Island kids. This is a long trip for everyone. They flew in to basically every airport around here. They're getting their money's worth out of this entertaining game so far.
Certainly, and obviously following this game is they'll have the closing ceremony scheduled to take place at 9 o'clock local time here to hand out the medals to the obvious national champions, and then the second place team, loser of this gold medal game, and then the winner of that bronze medal game, as you mentioned, Joey, going into the 9th inning between the hometown Woodstock team and Quebec.
Misses inside, and that'll be ball 4. So Tjon will take A walk wins the test of patience, pitcher v. pitcher. And now Ontario with 2 outs has one on. And again, even if this ends up being nothing, even if this is another 3-pitch strikeout coming up, still a win for Team Ontario because you've expended 3 more pitches.
And pitch count's now up to 63 so far for the evening here for Bogard. So he's coming up quick on the pitch count limit. As you can see, the 37, that's for the opposite side in Tjon.
Conforti thinking about a 2-out bunt here. Team BC does have good fielders, but maybe trying to get the pressure on, make a nervous mistake. Time called by Conforti. Well, the only left-hander in this starting lineup for Team Ontario. Pitch. Fastball outside. They're going to check Tjon over at first.
Yeah, should have popped up quickly as if he was going to throw down to first, but he ends up basically with the fake. Don't really expect Tjon to be running here with 2 outs.
That he does. He does take off. And he's going to be in there. So maybe they were all thinking, like you said, no way he takes off with 2 outs. That he does. Not a huge lead either, just pure speed.
And being able to read pitcher's windup, he knows pitcher to pitcher how you're going to, come set, and he's able to read that well and steal the bag easily.
Fastball inside. Counts now 2-2.
And if Conforti's able to make some contact here and put it on the ground, we'll see whether or not Tjon elects to go to third, depending on if it's hit on the ground, where it is hit. Tjon making sure he stays close to second.
Another fastball right at the chin. So now we got a full count.
And you can see Conforti, he is right up against that batter's box line, so he is tight to the plate. Obviously, with facing a righty, he wants to get as much as the plate as he can and force Bogard to come in towards Conforti.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and they'll get out of the inning. Might be the end of Beauregard's night, but if it is, 3 strong from Jackson Beauregard, the Abbotsford athlete. 1-0 Team Ontario after 3.
I was born and raised in Musqueam First Nation territory by my mother, who spoke Hunkaminam to me. As a child, I ceased using my mother tongue, as to use any language other than English was considered not being Canadian, so I was told. The old people came to me in a dream and reminded me of who I am and where I come from. I have reawakened. My roots are strong, and I'm no longer a silent speaker. My language tells me where I'm from. It defines me and guides me to teach others to learn and understand our culture and traditions. A gift for those in the present and the unborn generations. What was lost is found. What was asleep has awakened. My blood is here, and I am complete. I have returned home.
Welcome back to Woodstock, Ontario at Southside Park. Pitchers duel so far in the 13U National Championship. I'm Joey Langdon with Jeremy McGrady. Jeremy, Luke Tjon versus Jackson Beauregard. Another pitcher v. pitcher battle to start this one off. Tjon worked a walk last inning.
Number 2, Jackson.
Yeah, we've seen these two pitchers go on the attack so far tonight. Again, Ontario only scoring that 1 run, it being in the bottom half of the second.
And with Bogard at 69 pitches, he is the pitcher of record. Currently, he may not survive to the next inning, but he would love to help his own cause with a good hit here.
And that's the key now, knowing that his evening on the mound is coming to a close. He wants to try to help out any way he can offensively So you can see he steps out of the box there. He's already taken one strike. Tjon wants to bring it again.
There's a strike. 2 power pitchers on the hill right now.
And Tjon's doing the exact same thing that Bogard is doing with his fastball. It's I'm going to throw it, try to hit it.
Yes, I will very much. And a base hit up the middle, right back at the pitcher. So that duel goes to Beauregard, and now he's got to use his speed with John Huff at the plate.
Well, anything you can do, I can do better. And that's exactly what Beauregard does on that pitch. It's right down the middle. He times it up well and able to smoke that thing right back up the middle. Tjon had to bend away from that one, as that would have come right back at him.
Run going. Throw over is going to be not in time and into center field. Beauregard's going to take off for third. The throw from center field is not in time. So Jackson Beauregard turns a single into a triple. And now the tying run is only a couple feet away over on third base.
Well, we just mentioned how we wanted to see Bogard impact this game on the offensive side of things, and he's done just that here so far, as he's now able to get himself in scoring position over on third base, get the single, steal second, and then move over to third on the throwing error behind the plate.
Ball in the dirt. So Tjon at this point, the runner on third, he's not going anywhere. You've got to focus in and just deliver the ball to the plate. And that pitch is outside with the fastball.
Yeah, and Tjon just has to focus on throwing strikes here. Forget about the runner over at third. He scores, obviously, if it's through the infield in, finds a base hit, but if he keeps the ball on the ground, allow his infielders to make the plays.
Fastball high and misses. Run coming in. Throw over. Save. He ducked under the tag. And just like that, we are tied.
Well, just smart base running from Bogard here. As Tjon again, he opts to overthrows this one upstairs high. Bounces off the catcher's glove, and he gets the tag in there, but Bogard does a good job of getting his foot on home plate before Tjon makes the tag.
And another fastball outside. And Beauregard is replaced at first base with John Huff. And now up to the 45th pitch. This is where, you know, the coach was saying that mental coaching really has to come in.
And this is an overall really smart visit to the mound here by the catcher in McQuaig, and the rest of his infielders in as well, relaying to him saying, hey, don't worry about that anymore. We're reset. Got a brand new ball game here, so just focus on the man in the batter's box and Charlie Manuel. Roll yourself a double play and just get back on the attack here now that it's back to being even and one apiece.
They'll check first base. He's in there in plenty of time. Real tall frame over there, John Huff. So he can really extend his legs to make base running an absolute havoc. They'll check again. Not really a prayer of getting him, but just trying to keep him close.
Yeah, and now if you're this BC team, you can be aggressive on those base paths.
There's a strike, so trying to find the zone again.
Because we've talked about these mind games, and now BC can play those mind games. And they can be aggressive. Here, no one's out. You saw Bogard take off early on in the count. And that messed up Tjon. He goes over to third base for a third straight time. So clearly, the base runner and Huff is in Tjon's mind over there.
Infield isn't exactly set up for the steal either. And there he'll go now, and the ball gets away, so Huff into second without a throw on the pass ball.
Well, you called it there, Joey, as the defense wasn't really set to be in a position to defend a steal, and he takes off right away. Ball goes right back to the backstop, so he goes to second base standing.
There's a strike. over on the bronze medal side. Quebec is 1 out away from clinching that bronze medal. That one's fouled, and that might get all the way over to the bronze medal field. That had a lot of velocity on it.
So you can tell Manuel was just a little bit late on that fastball, but if he had got solid contact, I have a feeling that might have gone over the fence in left field.
And stays alive, throwing the bat out there.
You can see Manuel, he's timing that fastball real well here on Tjon, and now his pitch count has gone up as well. He's at 50 pitches. So he's just got to try to focus on getting back into the strike zone and seeing what Manuel offers.
That one's fouled straight back again. So again, raising this pitch count. This game, which had a narrative all sewn up not 10 minutes ago, is turning on its head.
Well, early on in this game, it was a pitcher's duel, but now both teams' pitchers, now you're seeing these hitters come up a second and third time. They now see what they need to do.
Strike 3. Tjon looking to settle in. No pitchers in either bullpen as of yet.
Well, with it being a championship game, they're going to push these pitchers to the max, knowing that after this they don't have much baseball left.
Runner going over to third. Throw is on line. Throw is in time. Throw is out. Cutting down John Huff. Great throw over there by McQuaig.
Yeah. Perfect catch, perfect throw down. Able to get the runner over on third base in plenty of time. Third baseman able to catch. Nowhere to go with the tag. And the third base umpire right there to ring him up. And now 2 out.
And the fastball is out of control high. So 2 outs here for Gerrod. Or Gerrod, my apologies.
Yeah, we've now seen it from both Tjon and Bogard as they're starting to overthrow that fastball. And what I mean by overthrow is they're pulling it towards the outside portion of the plate. If they just dial it back just that little bit, they will find the strike zone.
Gerrod wanted it, but it's high, and he wisely lets go for a ball.
And you tend to overthrow the fastball when it's upstairs and it's away. So when you're seeing those high pitches or those ones go outside, that's the type of fastball he wants to throw right there, right in the strike zone, where he's patient. He allows his arm to come all the way through in his throw path and find that strike zone.
And that one also misses high for a ball.
And sometimes you can throw a good fastball and it just ends up being high. That one there had plenty of life to it. Just couldn't find that upstairs corner.
Just misses low. Good eye from Gerrod. And a 2-out walk keeps the inning going. And it's just like we said last inning, even if nothing comes of that runner, it's still productive because you're wasting some pitches from Tjon.
And we've seen both teams' runs have come in to score basically off of mistakes in the field.
Throw gets away. McQuaig didn't know where it was, and that'll be at least a base, and they'll wisely stay at second.
At the plate, number 23,
So Gerrod up to
Yu.
second base now in scoring position. Maddox Yu, the switch hitter, has a chance to take the lead here for Team British Columbia. Pitch. Strike.
Tjon found the outside corner there, and again, with it being a left-handed batter, he can work that outside now and be aggressive, knowing that you've got a runner over there at second base. You want to try to hold him and make that throw to first.
Line to left field, that's going to be in there for extra bases. That'll score the go-ahead run. Maddox Yu.
A perfect swing. It looks like he threw the cut fastball as that was coming towards the inside part of the plate. He inside out swing, able to drive that one down the left field line, goes all the way to the fence, and easily able to score there was Gerrod. all the way from second base. He's in there easily. And so Maddox Yu with a clutch 2-out double. And now that brings up Mason Shudo, the catcher, as it looks as though the Ontario team may or may not try to appeal that the runner on second base didn't touch third, but they are now going to do that play now.
So Tjon's going to jog over and touch third. Safe is the call. Scott Robinson is really fired up now. Calming himself down now, but a second ago he was really fired up.
Well, it's the key job there for the home plate umpire in that situation to keep his eye.
Strike one.
And make sure that he himself sees, and we'll take a look here if he did indeed touch the bag, and indeed he did touch.
Very clearly did, so good call by the umpires.
But again, it's all back to that, mental warfare of playing games. As that one finds the strike zone. Ontario doing any little thing to try to throw off this BC team, so appeal over to third, see if he touched. Home plate umpire said yes, so any little type of mental game Ontario is playing, BC is going right with them.
That one's chopped to the shallow foul side, off the fence. And by the way, congratulations to Team Quebec, who has just won the bronze medal game after 2 extra innings, 3-2 over Team Woodstock. But a great performance from Team Woodstock, highest ever finish in a national championship.
They have to be proud being able to finish 4th at the national level. And now I'm certain that they will come over this way to watch the conclusion of this game.
Throw inside, and you will scamper over to third base.
And he had that base pretty much taken anyway as soon as that ball went to the backstop. Catcher tried to throw over on the bounce, but can roll a little too far, and now, again, Tjon just has to focus on getting this last out here. Don't worry about that runner on third.
Strike 3, got him, and he does get that last out. But the script has flipped. Team BC now leads it 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. So that's got to be a great gift for Team BC. We'll see who comes out to the hill. Looks like a change will be made. Looks like it's going to be Charlie Manuel.
Yes, indeed it is going to be Charlie Manuel. So that will be the night for Jackson Bogard when it comes to him pitching. So his night is done. So he goes 3 full innings, and now Charlie Manuel, who was in right field to start this game, now goes onto the mound in a situation where he's got the lead to work with, and he can just focus on doing his job on the mound and trying to get 3 up and 3 down.
Yep, Jackson Bogard does in fact scamper over to right field, so he does stay in the game. They'll just bring in Manuel from right field. You had to think this was the plan.
Oh, certainly. I mean, when you get to a final like this, you've got your lineup, you've got your defensive lineup, and you've got it mapped out from every single inning as to how you want to have your team field defensively and offensively. So not surprised to see BC knowing that once they get into the 4th inning that they were going to make this pitching change. And so now you've got Manuel out there. We'll see whether or not the Ontario team takes their man off and Tjon as well, but nonetheless, Manuel is the new arm here for this BC team.
Tjon at 66, he can only have at least 1 more at bat. I believe the limit is 70 at this level. We expect Ashley Jolicoeur to be the next pitcher, but she is not warming up right now. I can see her on the bench right now. So it'll be Gavin Sheehan, the first man to face Charlie Manuel.
Sheehan struck out his last time up at the plate, so we'll See how he attacks this time up, and he's going to be the first to face Charlie Manuel.
Breaking ball into the zone, so starting off Sheehan with an off-balancer.
Manuel.
So Manuel trying to get himself aggressive here, already got himself a strike.
Another breaking ball, so 2 straight breaking balls leads a 1-1 count.
Yeah, that one there almost caught the bottom corner. He got himself a nice little curveball there that's got some nice break to it.
Foul ball right back to the catcher, and Shudo's not feeling great about it.
Yeah, there's a veteran move by the home plate umpire, going out and pretty much walking that ball right to the catchers. That was a tipped one right into the chest section. You can see this home plate umpire, he's just going to take as much time, sweep up home plate, allow Shudo to get himself feeling good once again.
It's a big honor for this umpiring crew. Daniel Law, Seth Wall, Zach Fair, and Woodstock, Ontario's own Ron Burns getting the assignment, which is, again, all tournament, it's not just the players competing to be in the finals, it is the umpires as well. So this is the 4 best umpires in Canada at the 13U level, as Sheehan will be run out on the drop third strike. So a couple great breaking balls from Charlie Manuel.
And that's a second strikeout there for Gavin Sheehan, and now
Blake Bowers.
Blake Bowers steps up as he grounded out to the second baseman his last time up.
Another breaking ball.
It almost looks like he's got himself a slider curveball combination, so 2 off-speed pitches. That one there, he's able to find the inside corner.
Getting a little bit more velocity on it in there into the zone.
Yeah, goes with the fastball. That one able to find the outside corner. Got the hitter thinking.
Oh, and get him looking silly on the breaking ball. And Charlie Manuel is rolling.
Yeah, he goes with the sweeping slider. And Bowers chases that one.
Spencer McQuaig.
And so now Spencer McQuaig up, as he drew a walk his last time up. So we'll see if he can be patient here.
Yeah, he was really not sitting breaking ball. He had to double tap a couple of times in order to get set, so trying to recenter here. And another strike on the breaking ball. Quag nodding, he appreciates the good pitch, but really like to get a hold of one here.
Yeah, that one looked like a changeup as the bottom fell out of that.
Stays on the fastball and stays alive. Manuel has looked really comfortable changing speeds here.
Yeah, and he's got a lot that he can mix. He's got that fastball, the changeup, the slider, and the curve, so he's got a nice mix that he can just go to whenever he wants.
Swing and miss, strike 3. As dominant as it could be. And now we've got 4 complete. Team British Columbia has the lead 2-1.
Stand tall with my head held high. Let the devil in his eyes.
We're going in. If someone is in trouble, you do whatever you gotta do to help them. It's a hard job for anyone. You do what it takes.
In para-hockey, the ice tilts in favor of men. But that will never stop us.
United by passion, battling for equity. We are the National Women's Para-Hockey Team of Canada.
We're here.
We're hungry.
We're ready.
Ready to inspire.
Ready to leave our legacy.
Ready to be supported and make history. It's our time. Are you ready?
Welcome back to Southside Park here in Woodstock, Ontario. Joy Line here with Jeremy McGrady and Luke Tjon, a surprise, staying out on the hill for at least one more batter here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to see him out here for this top half of the fifth, but they must feel confident, obviously, with a couple of righties here coming up, and he is going to be approaching his pitch count limit here shortly, so they do have an arm up in the bullpen.
Easton Wilkinson, who is currently in the game as left fielder, they've moved him in the lineup to extra hitter. So we'll have to see who they put in. I believe that's Isaac Cartier in left field right now. Which they're entitled to do. Is that one's hit a looping ball into left field, and the replacement left fielder does make the play. It is in fact Isaac Cartier. So Isaac Cartier, after starting the game as the extra hitter, has to come in.
Stumbled a little bit out there at first, but he's able to regather and catch and make the catch out there. As it's just after 8:20 local time here in Woodstock, and sometimes you'll see some dew slip onto the outfield, and that could be a reason.
Liner to third base, gets through for a base hit. Isaac Funk with the single. That's the 70th pitch. I believe the pitch count is 75, but they're going to check that right now. We've got, it's a pinch hitter for BC. Mason Minen coming in for Josh Hotell.
So Mason drives in, coming in from the left-hand side.
Number 9, Mason Minen.
A good solid piece of hitting there from London Funk, who's standing on first base. Don't be surprised if he might take off here in this at-bat, knowing with the pitch count being high, Tjon does not want to throw anymore.
That one's fouled back into the Ontario bench.
And obviously the Ontario team very well aware of Tjon's pitch count, and they're just going to try to max him out. And then they'll go into their bullpen.
Checking first, it was a little bit of a labored pickoff move there.
Yeah, he ends up faking it. And obviously on Thursday night, Joey, you saw quite a few balks that occurred, but we have yet to see one here in this national championship game.
And they'll check Funk again. And part of this might be, honestly, letting Easton Wilkinson have enough time to warm up. Because he was on deck at the end of the last inning, so he wasn't able to head out to the bullpen while his team was hitting. And delayed steal for Funk. He gets in there at a second, throws into center field, but it's backed up nicely by Nolan Landry. So the delayed steal works out despite the awkward slide. Maybe a hit and run that didn't quite work out, but you know, they'll take that.
Well, I think also that Minen might have felt that he was going to get bumped by the shortstop coming in to grab the ball, so he tilted his head a little bit, but he's able to get in there on second base with the stolen base. Didn't end up going to third. And you can see McQuaig going out there to Tjon just to say, let's just focus on getting this guy out.
Runner on second, and Tjon steps off again.
You can see a little bit of confusion there behind the dish. And going, he had just gone out there and said not to worry about it, and yet Tjon took a step off.
Swing and a miss on the fastball. And Wilkinson still warming up pretty hard over there. Again, a part of this is these delays is trying to make sure their next pitcher is ready. Tjon, strike three, got him. He's at 74, so he does have one more pitch, so he can stay in to try and get another out.
34, Seth Cron.
Ontario's also made a defensive change behind the plate as Jake McFarland's now doing the catching as Spencer McQuaig He's been taken off catching duty, so his night might be done. And now Jake McFarland behind the plate.
Strike one, pitch number 75 for Tjon. So if my understanding of the rules is correct, this is his last batter now, no matter what happens.
Again, allowing Tjon to go to the limit. So far allowing 2 runs.
That one's grounded to second. Gonna be a play over. They'll get the second out. Or that's the third out, my apologies. So Tjon is able to finish the inning and give Ontario a little bit more flexibility in their bullpen usage.
And so he's able to go the full 5 innings of work. So his night will be done. And so again, Charlie Manuel will be out for his second inning of work, and he was really dominant in his first inning of work.
Looks like some sort of defensive change was made as BC's coach came out with the lineup card, and it's Josh Hotell re-entering. So Josh Hotell was pinch hit for. They get their 1 re-entry, and they'll put Hotell back out as a defensive third baseman.
Yes, and being up by 1 with only a couple of innings left, BC decides to use their re-entry on Hotell, so he will continue on in this ball game.
They must have a lot of faith in his defensive prowess here. Again, he was not originally in the starting lineup. Added late because Gerrod couldn't field. And, you know, after pinch hitting, if you're going to use your re-entry on a defensive replacement, you got to be really confident in that defensive replacement.
Well, this BC coaching staff must feel that he is their best option over at the hot corner. And why not? He's had himself a good game over there.
Made a couple nice plays.
Number 10, Clark Robinson.
Clark Robinson now up the first baseman, the coach's kid, trying to be productive with the bat here. His family's sunk a lot into this national championship. 5 years developing this whole roster. Love to take the drive back to Whitby with a title.
Let's go! Get your red, let's go! Yeah!
Breaking ball in the dirt. And we've seen that Manuel loves that breaking ball. Get the heat, get the strike.
Yeah, seems to be going with that slider or curveball more often than that fastball of his, trying to get the hitters thinking differently.
Foul back in the screen as the field here has really crowded up. Fans have made their way over from the bronze medal game. They are packed like sardines here into this park. Breaking ball never quite turns.
They try to get that slider working on the outside corner of the plate, but he just ended up releasing it a little too early, and it stayed way outside. And you can see his catcher just telling him to slow it down. Here, it looks like maybe the heat coming.
Heat came, and it'll be a base hit for Robinson. Finds the grass in left center. And Team Ontario has a runner on. Fastball on the hands and just pushed it the other way.
Yeah, Robinson got jammed, but he's able to fight that off. Good use of his wrists. Able to just flick that one out towards the shortstop, just gets over his glove. And now Easton Wilkinson, who could be the projected pitcher to come into the top half of the sixth, because he was warming up in the bullpen, but now he's up here at the dish. See if he can get this Ontario squad back to even or take the lead.
We'll check the runner over at first. Half-hearted pickoff attempt, just keeping them close. Both teams in this game have shown they are willing to run.
Yeah, not much of a lead over there at first.
Wilkinson tried for the bunt and missed it.
Still a strike regardless. That found the zone. And now we'll see what Wilkinson does here. As you can see, he took a peek at his little cheat sheet there on his waist. Quite a few of these Ontario players have that sheet available to them.
Breaking ball, strike 2.
And you can see Wilkinson again going back down to that cheat sheet of his as to what could potentially be coming, and he's made an adjustment as he's kind of stepped closer towards home plate and trying to get himself a base hit here.
Breaking ball misses, they'll throw over, and oh, that could have been disastrous. Good play over there by London Funk to come off the bag and stop that one from sailing into right field.
You know, one of the advantages of being a right-handed catcher is being able to just pop off quick and go get the baseball first, not worry about the runner behind you. You're more so focused on just catching it rather than trying to get the runner at first out on a pickoff play from behind the plate.
And another thing with those quarterback sheets that some of these Team Ontario players have is, especially Ethan Wilkinson, he might just have the signs written on it because St. Thomas Cardinals player just joined this team a couple days ago, didn't practice with them much at all, so maybe just trying to remember what the signs even are. Breaking ball hit lazily into left field. Caught out there by Allard and brought in quickly, so they'll make the out. Looks like we're gonna have a pinch hitter here. No, it's a pinch runner. Looks like it's gonna be Darian Lamb coming in. Big speed threat over there for the first baseman Robinson. This may be what they spend their re-entry on because Robinson in at first base, Lamb an outfielder.
Yeah, so Lamb now
27,
taking over on the running duties, and he's certainly got himself an aggressive lead over at first with Deloreier being up the dish.
And they'll check with him. And the thing with Lamb is that he does not have a large frame. So the leads are going to be a lot more dangerous because it's going to be a lot harder for him to get back to first. Breaking ball to short. Bobbled, they'll go to second for one, on to first, and they will not get the double. No, they will get the double play. What a play by the British Columbia defense. And they still lead it 2-1.
And the fly, BC 2, Ontario 1.
Navarro, a producer here at Rogers TV, and I just want to say thank you to all the volunteers that we have that put on our shows. Whether that's hosts in front of the camera or volunteers behind the scenes, we couldn't do it without you, so I just want to say thanks.
Blast you.
Welcome back to Rogers TV. Let's take another look at that double play. It was really close to Deloreier.
Leading off for BC.
Does he get the foot down?
Yes, foot's on the bag before.
He really looks safe to me.
Yep, that front edge of the foot is on the bag before the glove, before the ball goes into the glove. But the first base umpire in this tournament does not have replay technology available, so they ring them up on the double play.
First pitch fastball right off the catcher's helmet.
And again, surprisingly, Tjon still out there. And Joey, you went over to the scoring table to get the official explanation as to how many pitches he's allowed to throw.
Yep, for this year, 13U was bumped up to 85 pitches rather than the 75 it was in years past. So Tjon does have another 8 pitches in him, and it works out for Team Ontario because they go back, they took another look at Wilkinson. They also had Jolicoeur over there throw a couple of pitches.
Yeah, so again, they're going to let Tjon go the distance. Bogard, the starter for this BC team, up at the dish.
Moved into right field. He's got a single on the day, which he came in to score on.
Yes, actually, he's got 2 base hits so far on the day for Jackson Bogard. But his last at-bat was important.
And that, a really neat adjustment on that pitch. He was not sitting breaking ball at all, but he's able to put the hands around anyway.
Yeah, he was able to reach base on the single, steal second base, take off to third on the throwing error, and then able to come in to score as well. So Bogard able to help his own cause offensively.
At one point he was in line for the loss. His team is now in the lead. Strike 3, got him! On the outside corner. And Tjon, it's got to feel like the world's on his shoulders. If anything, just from the wear and tear on his right shoulder.
And that'll bring up John Huff. As you can see, Bogard giving information.
Number 27, Tjon Huff.
You can see that Huff was given information from Bogard there on that last at bat as to what he just saw.
And that one's fouled straight back. Huff in this game right now. He walked, and that was caught stealing third. So we would love to change his fortunes here.
And Tjon now at 82.
Swing and a miss.
Now up to 83, so this will be his last inning, and he might only get one more batter. We'll see what happens nonetheless.
Holds back, just misses. Entire crowd holding its breath on that one.
Yeah, Huff almost went around on a check swing, but he's able to hold off on that one and continue this at bat.
Tjon will hit the limit on this pitch. Strike 3, got him. That's how you end the night.
And that indeed is going to be his night. So Tjon has reached his pitch limit of 85. And so we will get a new arm into the game here, Joey.
Ethan Wilkinson coming in from the bullpen. It is 2-1. And the St. Thomas Fireballer will come in right after this.
I don't care what the law is. I will never be a slave. That word, I hate it. It rests on my tongue like rot.
Peter, how does it feel to get paid for your work?
There are rumors freedom's coming for us all.
Freedom, you know that's all I want.
Chloe, careful. Real men would rather sell you across the river to America than let you go free.
Then I'll run.
I've run before. Maybe this time for good.
No! Just get her into the boat. No!
Chloe! Chloe, no!
Word of Chloe Cooley's resistance led to Canada's first legislation limiting slavery. After 200 years, slavery was abolished in Canada in 1834.
Welcome back to Rogers TV at Southside Park here, the 13U National Championships. Team Ontario trailing 2-1. They've expelled their pitcher. They've used his full pitch count. Joy Lane here with Jeremy McGrady. And they'll bring in Easton Wilkinson out of St. Thomas, Ontario to try and set them up for success here. Real pitcher's duel tonight.
Man, what else could you ask for here on a Sunday night here in Woodstock here for this 13U National Championship game? Both teams' pitchers have been able to bring it not only with the velocity, but with the control of their pitches, as now this is the first pitching change for Team Ontario #1. And like you mentioned, the St. Thomas native now out on the mound, trying to hold the fort here, only being down by a run. So we'll see if he can do 3 up and 3 down.
And it's a little bit surprising to see him out here because he is a left-handed pitcher, one of the few they had in the bullpen. And this Team BC roster is almost entirely right-handed hitters. So you were half expecting to see either Blake Bowers or Ashlyn Jolakar, but instead you'll get the left-handed hitter out here, and Team BC must be salivating a little bit because they might not have seen a lefty all season with the amount of right-handers they have.
Well, and another benefit too here for Wilkinson is he's already got 2 out, so he just has to worry about getting 1 more.
Chopper over to short. Gonna be a close play over. Throw over is in time. Got him. Close play at first base again. That one goes Team Ontario's favor.
Yeah, good play by the shortstop, able to get the ball on a 1 hop and fire a strike over to first baseman, getting him by the nearest of margins. As we'll take a look at the throw here, as it is there in time, as the runner was just about to get his foot down, but nonetheless, 3 outs are recorded, and now starting to become crunch time here in this gold medal game, heading into the bottom of the 6th here in Woodstock, and it being a 2-1 game here, Joey.
So Team Ontario, they've got to feel like the walls are closing in a little bit. They do have a pretty sturdy bench and a lot of pinch hitting options, and that's probably what the coaches are discussing right now. At what point do we start reaching for that bench? Wilkinson got you, you're out. He was in the game as the left fielder. I didn't actually see if Tjon stayed in the game as the left fielder. So you'll have to see if he is available too. I believe you've used up your only re-entry because Clark Robinson came back in the game as the first baseman after being pinch run for.
Yeah, I would imagine that Tjon's evening is done after he's thrown 85 pitches. And you've got Charlie Manuel back out again, as he's had a really good outing. Again, he's only thrown 23. Now, he came in during the 4th inning, but he's been able to get the job done for this BC team as we're about to get ready to go, and Isaac Cartier will lead things off for Ontario number 1.
Cartier will step in for Manuel, and the thing with Manuel is, unlike any other pitcher we've seen today, he is not a velocity guy. He is a junk baller in the purest form, throws all of his breaking pitches first, and the fastball is the wipeout pitch.
Isaac Cartier.
Yeah, pitch to contact is the key for Charlie here with the off-speed pitches that he offers.
Not that kind of contact, though. Oh, an interesting play by the center fielder. Maybe tried to bail out of a dive and was able to knock it down, thankfully. That could have been disaster. Solid piece of hitting, though, from Cartier.
Yeah, curveball right down the middle of the plate, and you can see he does go down to dive. I think he originally felt that he had a play on it going for the dive, but
Landry.
He had to basically emergency bail and trap the ball down to the ground and secure it and keep him only on first base there.
Nolan Landry, the batter. They'll check the runner first. And something to note here is Luke Tjon has walked out of the bullpen, or walked out of the dugout, and he is on deck, so they've kept him in the game. How much power he has left in that arm is yet to be seen. That one's grounded. Could be 2 here. No, they won't get second. They won't get anything. Infield played a little slower than the shortstop expected. Bailed out of second base early, which was the correct play, but couldn't even get the one at first.
Well, you could see they were playing a double play depth. And because the shortstop played so deep, he didn't have a shot over at second base, and that was all arm that he could throw over to first. But the speed over there, being able to hustle to get to first base, and now Ontario's got something cooking here in this bottom half of the 6th.
Tjon calls time. No one in the bullpen right now for Ontario, so we're likely going to see Wilkinson again next inning. He's only faced 1 batter, but that goes against what Team Ontario told me their pitching plan was, so maybe they gave me a little decoy. Throw over to second. We were talking about this Ontario coaching staff. They were pretty superstitious last night. Were really cagey with their plans. Didn't want to tell us anything, and they're sitting here with a chance to win the national championship if things work out well on this bat. Tjon goes, strike 1. Might have been a strike anyway.
Yeah, that looked like it caught plenty of the plate. So Tjon's trying to do the exact same thing that Bogard did earlier on in this contest, which is help his team out on the offensive side here with the bat.
Tjon fouls that one sharply into his own bench.
Yeah, and if you're Hotell, the third baseman, you got to be ready for a potential play towards that left field line, as he's given a little bit of room to try to poke one down there, and that could score both runners.
Just misses outside. Good eye there by Tjon. Manuel keeps checking second base. He's a little worried about that speed. He knows that tying run on second could score easily with any sort of contact. And Tjon fights that one off, goes straight up and right by our truck behind the plate.
Tjon's goal here is just to try to get one into the outfield, advance the runner on second base, the extra 90.
A lot of room on pull side. They're holding the batter on pull side. They'll put it pull side. Second baseman who's holding the runner, he's gonna have some trouble. Throw to first is not until they do get him. Oh, I gotta be careful with my calls here. That's twice now I've been mistaken. We'll check first again. That was a real close play. Tjon with some wheels there.
Well, it was a high chopper. The second baseman faked to second, throws to first, and that looks awfully close. I think he might have gotten in there by a step, but nonetheless, the first base umpire rings him up for the out.
It is productive either way. Runners on first and second. They'll bring up Conforti, the left-handed batter. Watches a fastball go by for a strike.
Yeah, went with the off speed. Maybe the changeup there just caught the outside corner.
Maybe thinking small ball here with the runner on third and only one out. Inside, the runner's gonna go home. The throw over is not in time. We have a tied national championship.
Well, the ball in the dirt, and right away the runner comes in on the slide, and he's in there in plenty of time. Gets well enough of the plate. Tag still applied, but safe is the call, and now we've got ourselves what could be a mound visit, or it could be the end of the night for Charlie Manuel. And that they're coming all together. Just to relay the information, you got now the go-ahead run if you're Ontario standing over on third base. So this is just discussing that, hey, if it's on the ground in the infield, you're going to go home with it now that you're in a tie game scenario. So the infield will be in. So Conforti, again, just trying to get one through the infield. You can see all four infielders, they are all inside of their respective bags on third, second, and on first. So they are not going to want to allow this runner on third base to score.
A lot of gap, though. Outfielder's still playing pretty far back. He'll go for the bunt. He misses the bunt. It's going to be a foul ball. So he did get a piece of it. It's a strike either way.
Now 1 ball and 2 strikes being the count now. Conforti has to be in swing mode now.
Strike 3, got him. Great get me over slider from Manuel. And now there's 2 outs.
Yeah, perfect pitch there from Charlie as he throws that one high, but he's able to get that one on the top inside corner.
Number 26, Gavin.
So the infield will relax a little bit. They can make the play at first and save the run. Sheehan is going to be at the plate now.
Yeah, Sheehan has struck out twice, so this is a big at-bat for him.
Grounded to first. Hotell, the defensive replacement. He's in the game for a reason and saves the tie. After 6 complete, we go into the final inning of the season, tied at 2.
BC 2, Ontario 2.
I'm Melissa, and I'm the Community Engagement Specialist at Rogers TV. I want to give a big shout out to all of our volunteers who have dedicated their time in helping create television programming for the community. Thank you to all of our volunteers, whether in front of the camera or behind it. Thank you for everything you do. We couldn't do it without you.
Tuesday.
It turns out that it was the cats that got to the nest.
We want people to understand the plight of Canadian wildlife. It's not getting better.
Healed, released, free on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Southwood Park here in Woodstock, Ontario. It's a 7-inning national championship. We're in the 7th and we are tied, so it's a 1-inning national championship. Easton Wilkinson out of St. Thomas going to stay in the game for Team Ontario. He only met his teammates 5 days ago, and he's going to come in the biggest spot of the season after striking out the only batter he faced in the 6th, and try and hold this tie, facing the most dangerous part of this British Columbia lineup. Jeremy McGrady here with Joey Langdon on the call with you right now. Jeremy, this is a tight situation.
Certainly is a tight situation, Joey. Here in the penultimate inning here in the top half of the 7th. The bronze medal game went to extra innings and Quebec was able to win. We'll see if these two teams can solve things in the regular 7 innings.
Team Ontario was the #1 seed going into this tournament. They were the only seeded team, which means they've played every game as the designated home team. No bigger time will that come to advantage right now if they can get through this inning clean. Preston Gerrod is the batter. And he fights that fastball off.
And Gerrod was able to reach on a base on ball. It's his last time up, so you can tell he's being patient, but we'll see what he can do here.
Swing and a miss. Couldn't catch up with the fastball. Gerrod, the only one from this team out of Kelowna, long way away from Abbotsford. So looking to impress for his new teammates as well. Misses low.
That one just misses the bottom portion of the strike zone. Wilkinson tried to jam Gerrod there on that pitch. We'll see what he comes with here. Does he go right back to it or does he go away? Looks like they're going away.
Strike 3, got him! On the outside corner, Gerrod didn't like the call, but it was the right one, and it is the first out of the inning.
Well, a big time strikeout there from Wilkinson, as he's able to find that outside corner of the plate. Might have been just a little bit off, but enough for the home plate umpire. We'll see it here, because that might have missed the plate, but nonetheless the home plate umpire deems it caught enough, and it's a strikeout.
Hit up the right field line, and Maddox hitting righty for the first time tonight. Puts it in play.
Well, this was a jam shot inside part of the plate, and a nice solid swing there from you, able to reach and get himself on base with 1 out.
He has now had a hit from both sides of the plate in the national championship game.
And now Mason Shuto, the batter, he had a single in his first time up and struck out his second time up.
Swing and a miss.
So you talk about big moments. This is a big moment here for Shuto. If he can shoot one into the gap, you might have a chance to score the go-ahead run here with there being 1 out. So the key for Shuto is just to try to advance this runner into scoring position or better.
And that one catches the bottom of the zone for a strike. These batters have got to know that this strike zone is a little bigger than maybe they expected, and they've got to put bat on ball.
Well, at the end of the day, you just got to be able to go up there and protect the strike zone regardless of how big or wide it is.
Up the middle, off the pitcher. It's going to be trouble at second. They get nothing. the ball gets away. It was a close play at second, neighborhood play. They're gonna say he was safe. And everyone's safe.
So we'll take a look. The shortstop bobbles it. He ends up trying to move and step on the bag, and I'm not so sure of whether or not he made contact with the second base bag. But nonetheless, he throws over to first base, and it's wide.
Scott Robinson out to argue. He is one of the more intense coaches in this loop. He was not happy with that call. Let's take another look.
So we'll take one more look, and
he definitely looks out to me on that call. At least from that angle. The umpire is right there on it, so. And a second coach is gonna come over, and they're gonna argue that there should be interference. So neither coach is happy with the second base umpire right now, Seth Wall. This is the BC coach now. I believe this is Darren Francis, who is arguing that there should have been interference at second base. So let's take a look at that part now.
So we'll take a look. The ball deflects off of Wilkinson's glove. There's the bobble by the shortstop. The throw over goes wide. And then what BC was trying to argue is that the runner on second had an opportunity to go to third, but might have been blocked by the shortstop. So both teams' coaches had conversation with the second base umpire, and he's given his explanation, and we've got runners on second and first here with one out.
And that one just misses upstairs. So we'll take a look here.
We'll take a look here at the potential call for interferences. There you can see.
Well, yeah.
No, I don't think that there's interference there. The shortstop's ahead of the second base bag. The runner is entitled to that baseline. He can go around pretty easily on that play, which is what I'm sure the second base umpire ruled.
That one's fouled right back. Might have clipped London Funk on deck. It is definitely a call with multiple interpretations, and the umpire's interpretation is ultimately the one that matters here. And the problem with those interpretation calls is you're going to make someone upset.
Well, on that second base umpire, he was right where he was supposed to be positionally.
That one, I believe, also clipped London Funk, so that's two straight foul balls over there. A brief moment of levity in what is probably the most intense moment of these kids' lives. Brooks Nash is the batter, the pinch hitter. So he's come off the bench in the clutch spot.
And again, he's just trying to look to advance the base runners here. Fouled a couple of pitches off.
Strike three, got him! Now 2 outs, Wilkinson looking to try and escape.
Number 3, London Funk.
So now London Funk will step into the batter's box. Here in a big moment here in this top half of the 7th with 2 out and 2 runners on base.
Strike 1. Funk thought that was inside. He went for a dance.
He shimmied out of the way, thinking that that was outside, but nonetheless, home plate umpire ruled it a strike. And
you know what's going on right now is now the Ontario coaches are being told they're too far onto the field, and now they're arguing about that. Both sides are equally angry with the umpires right now, which I think means the umpires are doing a great job. 0-1 to Funk. 0-2 to Funk now.
Yeah, well, it's not the first time that the home plate umpire has told the Ontario coaching staff to stay behind in this big spot. Like you mentioned, Joey, if you've got both teams' coaches upset with the umpires, it normally is the case that they are doing a pretty good job out here on the diamond.
0-2. Fouled back into the netting. Josh Hotell is on deck. They need to keep him in. They pinch hit for him earlier. They can't anymore because they've already used their re-entry on him. So they might be wanting London Funk to be aggressive here. The 0-2. Misses outside, the runners will move up, and now the go-ahead run is on third base. Easton Wilkinson, the pitcher.
And Wilkinson overthrows that one towards the outside corner. And it appears to be maybe a mound visit, or this might be the evening for Wilkinson. It appears just to be a straight up mound visit.
Must just be to call him out. You don't want to change anything defensively here. You got 2 outs, so you don't need to come home with it. BC fans behind us, trying to support their guy, London Funk.
Well, again, both teams heading into this tournament are having outstanding seasons, building up to this moment, and with it being tied here in the penultimate 7th inning.
Strike 3, got him! Right on the edge of the plate. Funk standing right on the line, so any pitch inside was going to look inside on him. We'll have to see. It looked like it caught the plate to me.
Yeah, it looked like it caught plenty of the plate, as we'll see it here on the replay. You can see Wilkinson's delivery, and
that was the pitch
wild
outside.
Pitch that ended up being the scoring run. Or pardon me, that allowed the runners to move over to third and second. We will get you the one, that most recent pitch. As I believe you're right, Joe, I felt that caught Kenny to the plate, but because of the fact that London Funk was pretty much leaning over the plate, anything that was towards the inside portion of the strike zone, he felt was going to be a ball. So we'll take a look at it here. As here it is.
This was the strikeout pitch. It was a fastball inside.
And oh yeah, that
looks like a strike to me.
That was up. That was upstairs. Almost caught Funk as well, but umpire calls for the strikeout. But nonetheless, that ends the inning for BC on the bats, and now it's up to Ontario here in this bottom half of the 7th, an opportunity to win and crown themselves national champs.
It's Charlie Manuel is going to stay out there as the pitcher, the breaking ball threat. He came in the 4th, and he has pretty much rolled since then. The bats have given him 2 runs, but that's it so far. I believe that the leadoff batter here is going to be Blake Bowers, which would mean it's Bowers, the catcher spot, which has gone back and forth, and then Robinson, and then Wilkinson. The catcher spot, I believe, is going to have to be McFarland, because they'll be out of catchers at that point if this goes in extra innings. So if you don't want McFarland to hit and you want a pinch hitter in, you have to end it now. Otherwise, you've run out of catchers, because you can't use that re-entry spot in that spot in the lineup anymore.
Leading off in the bottom of the 7th for Ontario, number 18, Blake Bowers.
All that's for naught if Bowers can put a charge into one right here. Swing and a miss on the first pitch, and here we go. This is the bottom of the 7th, tie game, and a chance for Team Ontario to walk it off. Breaking ball catches, strike 2.
Yeah, back-to-back off-speed, got Bowers to chase the first one, takes the second one on the inside corner.
Strike 3, got him. Efficient on the first one. And we are going to get a pinch hitter here. It's going to be Ashlyn Jolicoeur.
Which is a smart move, because she also is listed as a catcher as well, so they do have 3 catchers available.
Ashlyn Jolicoeur.
And what a big spot here for Ashlyn to draw into the game here. Batting from the left-hand side, she's stepping in a big moment here in this national championship. Pinch hitting.
Pitch low, and talking to Scott Robinson earlier, he said that Ashlyn was brought in specifically to be either a wipeout pitcher or a clutch pinch hitter. That one's in there for a strike. And the thing with Jolicoeur is sitting on the bench the whole time. She's got to limber up here. She didn't even stand on deck. She was brought in as a surprise. Swing and a miss. Good pitching there from Charlie Manuel.
Yeah, first pitch off speed, second one fastball. We'll see if he doubles up on the fastball. He's shaking off quite a bit here from the catcher. Appears like he's going to step off and reset. Didn't like the sequence of pitches that was offered to him from his catcher.
1-2. Misses high. 8 years ago, here in Woodstock, Ontario, BC and Ontario played in the national championship game. The batter on the last at-bat of the game was a pink-haired woman named Rain Pagam. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Jolicoeur can't repeat history.
And if you can't tell from where our broadcast spot is, we are directly in front of a lot of BC supporters, but also it's starting to pack up with also a bunch of other teams from tournament play as well behind us, supporting this BC team.
Strike 1 to Robinson.
And obviously when you have both these teams running the gauntlet the way that this Ontario team did, not losing home field advantage the entire tournament, some of these teams are going to throw their hat behind this BC team.
Strike 2. One strike away from extras.
Charlie's got a bit of extra adrenaline. He's got the crowd behind him, and when you've got a lively crowd, that adds a little, maybe a couple of extra miles an hour to your pitches.
Misses high.
And that one's okay. He's already gotten 2 strikes here on Robinson, so he can go to attack mode here, maybe flip him a curveball.
And he sits on the curveball. Robinson, his family has put so much into this team. Now he stands in as the last batter in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs, unless he can make something happen here. And a good chance goes to Beggin. Charlie Manuel sends this one to extra innings. After 7 complete, we are going to extras here in Woodstock, Ontario.
I've dedicated my life to helping victims.
To seeking justice.
And justice will be served.
We're working as a team.
And that team works most effectively when it works together.
You're safe. I got you. All of us want the same thing.
Justice.
Justice.
Justice for every victim.
So you're not giving up on us? Giving up? I'm just getting started.
When I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, I was deteriorating in front of everybody.
All my life I lived with sickle cell. I went through a tragic crisis that put me in a coma for 3 weeks. While I was in there, I received a lot of blood to put me in a healthier state.
I was given the plasma then through IVIG. Even though that happened so long ago, it still has a massive impact on me today.
Thanks to donors, I can live another life.
Because of you, I will be seeing my grandchild.
To Woodstock, Ontario, here at Southside Park. Huge crowd here. The word is out, this game has gone to extra innings. Joey Langdon here alongside Jeremy McGrady. And Jeremy, the nerves going through these kids has to be massive.
It's huge. You're at the point in the game where you are now into extra innings, where now the next run can potentially win it for either side.
Hotell.
Ethan Wilkinson stays in the game. They appear to have done some lineup juggling here to keep their catcher in the game. McQuaig is back in after being taken out early in this game. I'm not sure of the rule, but I think there might be something about your catcher being an extra transfer spot. So they'll bring McQuaig back in. And they have to be expecting Wilkinson to go pretty deep the rest of the way, because if they can't bring Jolicoeur back in, that wastes probably their second best pitcher they had available.
And we'll see how long Wilkinson can last. You know, he's thrown 23 pitches. Here in a big moment here in extras.
Catches the bottom of the strike zone. Hotell, he was pinch hit for earlier. He is a defensive specialist, but he's trusted with the bat right now. And he does go. It's a swing, so strike 2.
And now with 2 strikes. Got to be careful here. Protect the zone. If it's in the zone, try to drive it, get it into the outfield. Get a hit.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Easton Wilkinson, since coming into the game, has been a wrecking crew.
And Hotell goes down swinging. His second strikeout here tonight.
Seth Cronin, now he had a single on the first pitch he saw today. Since then, been a little quiet. And Wilkinson will step off. Grounder to short. Gonna be a close play, and it bobbled, and a base hit for Cron. Might be an error. Charge to the shortstop, Blake Bowers. Bowers knew it was gonna be a close play, and he hurried.
Well, a good hit on the ground, and I think this may have been a base hit regardless. That would have been a very tough throw to go and throw him out over at first base as Cron was hustling down the line, and now 1 out. And you've got a runner on first base. Going to be oh so careful now in extra innings on the base pass. You have to be selective. Obviously, if there's a ball that goes past the catcher and McQuaig, he can advance.
Bogard now up. He does have the power to put this one in the parking lot. What a time for it would be. That one's grounded to short. This could be 2. Bowers, the second for 1. He chides against it. He kind of lost his balance, and they get nothing.
Yeah, a bit of a tough play for the shortstop in Bowers, as it's a good hit. And he ends up having to back up on it just a little bit. He has no shot at second, so he has to go to first. And Bogard, those long strides of his, being one of the tallest players on the field, he's easily able to reach. And now the Ontario coaching staff again out for another mound visit here.
It's got to be close to the end of Wilkinson's day. He's at 54 pitches coming off the bench. He threw a ton in the bullpen because he was in there for about 3 innings.
Well, this is now also a situation to relay to the defense with 1 out. Obviously, you can still try to turn your 2, but focus on getting the lead runner over at third base. So if this ball's hit anywhere on the left-hand side of the diamond, you're going to try to go towards third base and make a play there.
No one in the bullpen right now for Team Ontario, so they're comfortable with Wilkinson right now.
Well, again, he's only thrown 28 pitches, so he's got lots left in the tank potentially, but now you've got Tjon Huff here in a big moment with a runner in scoring position.
And he spits on the strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, good pitch there from Wilkinson. He's able to find the outside corner. Huff now has to be aware of where that outside corner is, and now focus on just trying to get himself on base and move the runners.
That one misses inside. The thing with Wilkinson is, as a left-handed pitcher, when he came in, we were a little surprised because BC does not have any left-handed hitters other than Mason Minen, who came off the bench earlier. So, and it was an interesting decision to bring him in the first place. He's looked great so far. Now he's in a little bit of trouble, and only righties in his future. Swing and a miss, so 2 strikes now on Huff.
And Wilkinson goes right for the fastball, and Huff just a little bit late on it, swung on and missed. Now it's all about protecting that strike zone here again.
A lot of speed on the base pass. Anything in play is going to be dangerous. Swing and a strike 3, got him. Wilkinson finds his groove, and he runs over Huff.
A big strikeout there from Wilkinson. as now there are 2 out. Now only having to get 1 more.
Manuel.
And Charlie Manuel up at the plate. He's been on the mound. See if he can come up big. We saw the starter in Jackson Bogard come up big. See if Charlie can do so here and follow up.
Pitcher v. pitcher duels have gone BC's way tonight. The pitch from Wilkinson. Swing and a miss, but the runners are going to move up. Now the go-ahead run is on third base. With 2 outs, though, Wilkinson can leave that one alone. Just can't miss another like that.
And that's exactly the instruction he's receiving from the coaching staff of Ontario is you're at this point in the ball game where you've got to get in front of that ball. It's in the dirt, just try to block it any way you can. Keep it in front of you.
The 0-1 pitch to Manuel. Swing and a drive, right field. It's in there and it'll score 2. Manuel heading for third now. The throw over is going to be in time and get him. So they'll get out of the inning after scoring 2.
Middle 8, BC 4, Ontario.
So a big at-bat from Charlie Manuel. He goes against the grain, opposite field hit. Not just 1 run, but 2 runs come in to score. The slide takes out the catcher. The throw goes down to third and able to record the out there on the tag play. You can see the third base umpire record the out. The inning is over, but 2 runs come in to score for BC, and now key question here, Joey, is do you keep Manuel out on the mound because he's doing so well, or does BC bring in their closer in this type of situation? My bad.
They're talking about it right now. They haven't sent anyone out to the hill yet. And by the way, the headline of that is obviously the Manuel hit. Huge. McQuaig making that heads-up play, getting up from the slide tackle and throwing that ball over to third. That might come back to be huge if some bats end up on balls this inning.
Man, you can still see it. The BC coaching staff have a pretty big decision to make as to who they want to bring out.
Another question is, and I don't want to speculate, but Manuel is still sitting on the bench. He took a hard slide into third, had a hard tag onto his throwing arm. He is going to head back out there. Charlie Manuel trying to do it all himself.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Joey, at how when we've seen a pitcher duel at the plate, we've seen this BC team win that battle, and now Manuel, with the big hit offensively, has the opportunity defensively to record 3 outs and an opportunity for BC to crown themselves champions here at the U13 level here for Baseball Canada.
It's the top of the order for Team Ontario. Deloreier, Cartier, Landry, Tjon. The top of the order for Team Ontario has not been the most productive today. However, there would be no better time to do it. There's a reason they're the top of the lineup after scoring 114 runs in the Ontario Championships, scoring a whole buckload of runs in the first 3 games, 20, 11, 15, 16 in their first 4 games this tournament. Only 2 today. They could really use some right now. It actually is going to be the bottom of the order starting off. Wilkinson, the pitcher, is going to swing for himself. He is in line for the loss right now.
Easton Wilkinson.
So again, pitcher versus pitcher. Wilkinson, the batter. Manuel, the pitcher. He's been efficient so far in his outing. We'll see if he can close the door here in this bottom of the 8th here in extra innings.
Just a minute ago, these two faced off on the other sides. Manuel had a double. Wilkinson could really use some turnabout here. Strike on the inside corner.
And now Charlie can go on the attack here with 2 strikes. He can throw whatever he feels comfortable with.
Fouled back, trying to drop the changeup out of the zone. Wilkinson stayed with it. 2-2 count to Wilkinson. The pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Good composure there from Wilkinson to stay in on it.
And what an interesting moment here in this ball game. Both the man on the mound and the batter having big impacts in that last half inning. Obviously, Charlie able to get the hit off of Wilkinson. Now it's Wilkinson's turn to see if he can get a base hit here himself on Manuel here.
Misses outside.
Now that one was close to finding the strike zone, but nonetheless, still has 2 strikes here on Wilkinson, trying to record the out.
That one's chopped to second. Bouncing ball, gonna be close. They'll get him at first base. 2 outs away.
Able to get Wilkinson to roll over the top of that one. The second baseman scoops, able to get the out recorded, and now they are 2 outs away with Deloreier, the top of the order
27, Christopher
for this Ontario team.
Team Ontario represented by Whitby. They have not lost a game since early June. They are down by 2 in extra innings. Deloreier loaded up and watched the strike go by.
And you can tell Deloreier was taking all the way on that upstairs heater. We'll see what Charlie wants to go with here.
Strike 2. Deloreier is right on the plate. He thought that was coming in on him because he's seen nothing but breaking balls, but the fastball sneaks by him.
Again, he can go aggressive.
Misses outside.
And tried to flip the curveball upstairs, just misses on the top corner of the plate. I like the fastball here. We'll see if he brings it.
And he just misses outside again. So 2-2. Deloreier fights back.
Again, tried to flip that off-speed pitch into the strike zone now with a 2-2 count. Normally this favors fastball.
Up the middle, base hit. Deloreier puts the tying run at the plate with that base hit.
And that being his first base hit of the evening, as he's able to go right back up the middle with that pitch.
55, Isaac Cartier.
And now Isaac Cartier.
Started the game as the extra hitter, finished it in left field.
Now obviously you'll see the infield go into double play depth now with 1 out. So you'll see the first and third baseman playing a little bit more towards the inside portions, and then the second base and shortstop playing a little further back.
Can't get lost in the moment though. Fastball, strike 1. Cartier thought it was off the plate. He's got to just lock in and put bat on ball here.
Focus on getting the lead runner here. If you can only need to get 1 out, just go after the lead runner.
Breaking ball on the outside corner, catches. Cartier didn't like it. He can't worry about that now though.
Now he does have to protect here with 2 strikes. Got to be careful.
Misses high. Runner on first has some speed. We've seen it today. Deloreier can run. Manuel knows it. 2-strike pitch. Misses outside.
And if I'm Team BC, I am not overly concerned about Deloreier over on first base. Again, you've got that 2-run cushion. Focus on the batter at the plate currently, and then if the ball's hit on the ground, get that force out at second if you can.
Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 out away for Charlie Manuel and Team British Columbia. And for Team Ontario, Nolan Landry is going to be the last chance.
14, Nolan Landry.
And now with Team BC being 1 out away, the breaths become deeper and you got to be more focused now.
Swing and fouled back into the parking lot.
I like that from Landry, being aggressive early on in the count, not sitting back. Sees the first pitch heater and he elects to swing at it and fouls it off.
And another one fouled back, and we've seen Manuel. He's had the breaking ball working all night. Couple fastballs in a row, Landry's fouled off. The Abbotsford Angels are representing Team British Columbia. They flew in on Wednesday here to Woodstock, Ontario. Facing Team Ontario here with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Arrived on Wednesday, practice on this field for the first time on Thursday, and on this field, they become the national champions!
Final score.
Congratulations to Team BC.
Ontario 2.
They worked their way into this final. They slay the dragon in this Ontario 1 team, and they are now crowned national champions at the 13U division.
Charlie Manuel, at only 13 years old, had some of the most wipeout breaking pitches we've ever seen tonight, and he was masterful, and they win it 4-2 off his arm and his bat.
And you can see the celebrations for this BC team, national champs, able to win themselves a gold medal. As you can see, they've got the BC flag out there and they're going to run around with it.
They'll run around with gold medals shortly as if we can take a look at that last wipeout pitch. Talk us through it.
So it's his best pitch that he's thrown all night. It's that nasty curveball, and he gets it to flip over and go into the strike zone. And you could tell as soon as it landed into the glove that that was going to be strike 3. And so British Columbia, winners here in these 2024 13U National Championship here in Woodstock.
The podium will be Quebec on third, Ontario on second, and the gold medal winners, Team BC. And it was a full team effort from Team BC. We talk a lot about Charlie Manuel, but man, they had production on the field defensively and with the bats all through the lineup.
Well, we mentioned at the start how it was a pitcher's duel, and you got to give a lot of credit to Jackson Bogard as he started this game, was able to keep it at low score, and he provided one of the biggest at-bats in this ballgame for BC as well, able to get themselves on the score sheet. And then also, again, Charlie Manuel, he's able to get that big at-bat as well. So the pitching staff for this BC team not only pitch well, but they also go on the offense as well and provide basically the winning runs and get themselves a national championship.
So that'll do it here for another season of baseball here on Rogers TV. The 13U National Championships come to an end. Jeremy McGrady's here with us. Joey Langdon on the call. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you all next time on Rogers TV.
Thing's gonna do that. Revenge? But you will never. Going to get me. Fury
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
This is Rogers TV.
Hello everyone, thanks for coming. So yeah, my name is Griffin Noriega, and I'm gonna be playing a couple songs that I wrote. This is called When We Were Kids. Painted windows, see-through walls, I was left alone to my own remorse again. And I don't know how to help you, babe. Can't you see that I'm dying here? You found me laying on your kitchen floor. I had a bottle beside me, calling me more, my love. But you're all that I'm thinking of. If you fall, then I'll lift you up. Way too young to be thinking about when we're gonna die. But I know where I'll be, Lord, if I had time. Well, I'll be singing Tjon and playing cash on that guitar that I never had. You'd be beside me until the very end. And I'd say sorry for when we were kids, but we were kids. But we were snow-capped mountains in our rolled-up bills. We had no priorities on standing still. Good luck. Well, there ain't no more room for us. Lie to yourself all you want. Way too young to be thinking about when we're gonna die. But I know where I'll be, Lord, if I had time. Well, I'll be singing Tjon and playing cash on that guitar that I never had. You'll be beside me until the very end. Well, I'd say sorry for when we were kids, but we were kids. We were kids. Thank Thank you. I got one more for you. I wrote this one maybe a couple months ago, and I played it at Beerlesque, the little festival they had in town. So I hope you enjoy. This is called For This. Well, I got lost for a minute back there. Didn't seem to notice I was going off the rails. Painted skies and hazel eyes, solemn goodbyes that remind me that my life is never mine. That my life is never mine. Roads got crossed, lines got blurred. Didn't seem to notice who and when got hurt. But you know I know you're worth the wait and go. And I can't picture my life if we never let it go. Oh, can we just let it go? Hand in hand with time to spare. The less you try, the more I care. Can you blame me? You said you love me. But both of us, we don't want to quit. But I don't know if we can salvage this. Can we just hold on? Are we too far gone for this? Are we too far gone for this? Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy it. My name is Deloreier.
This song is called Earthly Darling.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
At Reith & Associates, we protect the people and property that matter most to you. Expertly crafted through our unique process, we deliver you a bespoke, flexible, and future-thinking insurance and investment services program, supported by our online 24/7 digital service platform.
And we're live for Mayor's Update.
The largest industrial investment in Canadian history.
And I've been saying that all week, and it still doesn't register right in my head. I mean, the largest industrial investment in Canadian history is happening right here in St. Thomas, Ontario.
In para-hockey, the ice tilts in favor of men. But that will never stop us.
United by passion, battling for equity. We are the National Women's Para-Hockey Team of Canada.
We're here.
We're hungry.
We're ready.
Ready to inspire.
Ready to leave our legacy.
Ready to be supported and make history. It's our time. Are you ready?
This song is called Earthly Darling. You
again, thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Jeff, and this is my last song. The song is called Tide Mom.
At Reith & Associates, we protect the people and property that matter most to you. Expertly crafted through our unique process, we deliver you a bespoke, flexible, and future-thinking insurance and investment services program, supported by our online 24/7 digital service platform.
Join the high-energy, bodyweight-based workouts of the Thunder Twins. Gerrod and Harold will get all shapes and sizes up and moving. Catch the Thunder Mondays at noon.
The toughest competition in sports is back. The most international group of warriors ever. 16 mixed martial artists from 14 countries face off.
I don't care how light it is.
You are fighting each other for what?
For a shot at UFC glory. And women's flyweight champion Alexa Grasso and former champion Valentina Shevchenko guiding them on their quest. It's the new season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yes!
Unbelievable.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Again, thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Jeff, and this is my last song. The song is called Tide Mom.
Sound, it cuts me like a knife. Swallowing razor blades just to hold my tongue. I haven't learned when to say when, cause I just can't get enough. And we'll do it all over again. Tomorrow's just another day. And we'll do it all over again. Tomorrow's just another day. Cemetery gates waiting for my turn. If fire is in your touch, then baby I'm gonna burn. You think that by now I have learned how to say no, and done it the time bomb waiting to explode. And we'll do it all over again. Tomorrow's just another day. Yeah, we'll do it all over again. Tomorrow's just another day. Yeah, we'll do it all over again. Tomorrow's just another day. Time bomb, baby, we're ready to blow. The two of us know we're ready to go. Then we're a ticking time bomb, baby, we're ready to blow. The two of us know we're ready to go. That we're a ticking time bomb, baby, we're ready to blow. The two of us know we're ready to go. That we're a ticking time bomb, baby, we're ready to blow.
Thank you very much.
The next song we're gonna be singing is Reed is actually gonna be singing it. And what is it called, Reed?
It's called On That Beach.
Hi, I'm Dawn Tucker from Align Yoga and Pilates Studio. Join me this fall on Rogers TV for Align Yoga, a chair yoga practice designed for all body types.
Hey, I'm Scott Navarro, a producer here at Rogers TV, and I just want to say thank you to all the volunteers that we have that put on our shows. Whether that's hosts in front of the camera or volunteers behind the scenes, we couldn't do it without you, so I just want to say thanks.
Are you low on food? Struggling to pay the bills? Overwhelmed by life's challenges? When you need support but don't know where to turn, just dial 211. 211 connects you to the programs or services near you.
211, how can I help you?
211, help starts here.
Tuesday.
He's going to go crazy as soon as this comes off, eh?
Salthaven is a wildlife rehabilitation and education center. We rely on the public, first of all, so kind-hearted individuals, if they discover an animal in need, to call us. And we take in any animals that have been sick, injured, or orphaned. We rehabilitate them, and our ultimate goal is to release them back into the wild.
Healed, released, free. On Rogers TV.
The next song we're gonna be singing is Reed is actually gonna be singing it. And what is it called, Reed?
It's called On That Beach.
Mm-hmm.
It's from our upcoming album.
Oh, and on that beach I know I left my soul out on the rocks, and in my heart I know, take it slow, down by the docks. The sun sets on crashing waves, and the day all alone. And I know I'll soon be gone with only this song to remember my home. Long, long, long time ago, were my worries on that beach. Long, long, long time ago, were my worries on that beach. And my heart beats nice and slow to and fro on this beach. And the cliff face behind me will remind me of where I belong. Long, long, long time ago, were my worries on that beach. Long, long time ago, were my worries on that beach. With my earphones in my hand and my feet in the sand, I sing along. and I cry a little because I know it'll be a memory when I'm gone. Long time ago were my worries on that beach. I'd say it again now. Long time ago were my worries on that beach. Oh, on that beach now. Long time ago were my worries on that beach. Long time ago were my worries on that beach. On that beach.
Thank you, everybody.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
I'm going to do two.
For you?
One for you,
yeah,
one for me.
Absolutely. Go down.
How much dipping?
Go right in.
Oh my God.
These days at your local Legion, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the Legion. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our Member Perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at legion.ca.
You're watching Rogers